You gave up the penthouse suite at the 8-star hotel to impress your girlfriend, but she made you wait at the door like some kind of watchdog. You were so pissed you called the hotel management yourself and refused to pay a single dime of the bill. The manager who got the call was completely floored because you were known all over the city as the most pathetic simp anyone had ever seen. Everyone who met you just shook their head in disbelief. Mr. Chen, if you cancel this reservation, we cannot refund the $1 million deposit. Maybe you should talk to Miss Liu first. She seems to have no idea this is happening. You scoffed. Do I really need to ask some woman for permission to make my own decisions? Turns out you got dropped into some cheesy novel as the simp. Even though this guy was a top-tier rich kid, who could have anything he wanted? He was completely whipped for some gold-digging heroin. He blew through billions of the family fortune trying to win her over. But in the end, the male lead swooped in with one smile and stole her away. And together they destroyed the original guy's life. Even though he finally woke up and grabbed a knife to go after the male lead, he got framed by the guy who had a system and ended up locked up for good thinking about all this. You took a deep breath. Let's be clear, it was Olivia who wanted to throw this reunion. If you want money, go ask Olivia. And with that, you walked off without even looking at him. The hotel manager's face went from red to white. We brought in the finest ingredients. We hired a whole orchestra, everything was already set up. This isn't something you can just cancel on a whim. I believe the contract has Olivia's name on every single line, right? Olivia never expected that back when she was showing off, she'd signed her own name on every contract and bill. You couldn't wait to see the look on her face when she found out. Knowing the story like you did, you knew exactly why Olivia didn't want you at the reunion. Just a few days earlier, Olivia had met the male lead Ethan, who just arrived in the city and fallen for him instantly. They talked all night at a coffee shop, and this whole reunion was her idea, just so she'd have an excuse to spend more time with Ethan, who had a godlike investment system. He made money like it was nothing, and had all kinds of superpowers on top of it. But you weren't worried at all because you had a system too, and yours outranked every other system out there. Ethan's investment powers were basically a joke next to yours. You were confident you'd make the male lead beg for mercy eventually. But right now, the real problem was dealing with that gold digger, Olivia. Not long after you got back to Blue Mountain Estates, the second you got out of the car, Emily came out looking surprised. Sir, aren't you supposed to be at the reunion with Miss Liu? Why are you back so early the moment you saw her? Your vision blurred for a second and your heart skipped a beat. No wonder Ethan chased after her like crazy later on. Even though he never got the original guy. To pass up a woman this beautiful, he must have been out of his mind. You smiled like you didn't care, that ridiculous party wasn't worth going to anyway. How's my father doing hearing that? Emily looked even more surprised because the old you never once asked about the old man's health. You used to wish he'd hurry up and die so you could inherit everything faster. And blow it all on Olivia. Things aren't looking good. He might not make it through the night, Emily said sadly. Your face went tense and you rushed straight into the mansion. As for this so-called father of yours, you actually respected and pitied him. He'd built Chengyu Group from nothing with no connections at all, worth tens of billions. Worked himself to the bone his whole life without a single day off. Even if you didn't have much feeling for the old man deep down as his only son, you figured you should at least be there for his final moments. But by midnight, the old man passed away even with the best doctors and equipment from around the world at the mansion. There was nothing anyone could do. You sat by the bed gripping his cold hand tightly and said in a heavy voice, "Go in peace. I promise I'll take Chengyu Group to new heights and make it one of the best companies in the world. I won't let your life's work go to waste." Emily, standing nearby, heard all this and quietly wiped away tears while feeling a bit relieved deep down. "Sir, when my family was in crisis, the old man helped us through it. I'll never forget that kindness from now on. I'll support you with everything I have. This is the old man's final will. A lawyer will come to notarize it shortly. Before dawn, all the assets will be transferred to your name. You're officially the chairman now." Your face showed neither joy nor grief, you said without looking up. Just handle it. After all, you trusted Emily completely. This woman wasn't just capable, she was fiercely loyal. Even when the male lead tried every trick to tempt her, she never wavered. Even when threatened and pressured, she'd rather leave everything behind than ever betray the Chen family. Meanwhile, at the Sky Garden of the Triumph Hotel, Olivia, flushed from wine, had her eyes locked on a man named Ethan. Her friends and classmates were all a little tipsy too, showering her with compliments. "Olivia, you're so lucky landing a young rich guy like this. That's a blessing. Most people never get renting out the whole place. With an international orchestra playing too, this is basically a celebrity-level party. Olivia's definitely the most successful one from our class. Nobody else even comes close." Olivia listened with a satisfied grin, feeling extremely pleased with herself. Back in college, her dad was just a construction foreman, nowhere near as rich as now. Showing off like this in front of her classmates was hugely satisfying for her ego. "Don't believe those rumors, he and I aren't even official yet. Who says I'm marrying him? I just think of him like a brother. Our families have some business together, that's how it turned into an engagement rumor. Once the timing's right, I'll explain everything to him myself. I really don't feel that way about him." Olivia took a sip of wine, gazing softly at Ethan across the table, as if explaining herself directly to him. "Worried he might get the wrong idea." Ethan nodded gently, and jumped in the media. "Loves making things up these days. What era are we living in? Marriage should be about freedom and equality. You can't just take your parents' word for it." Hearing this, Olivia's face lit up. So Ethan really was interested in her too. The two instantly clicked, and huddled together talking. Seeing this, none of the other classmates dared say anything. They all just went along with it after a few rounds of drinks. As everyone was starting to head home, the hotel manager walked over smiling, "Miss Liu, it's time to settle the remaining balance." The second he said that, the lively Sky Garden fell completely silent. All 30-something classmates stared wide-eyed at Olivia in confusion. Their minds were racing. What's going on here? Wasn't that rich guy supposed to have paid already? Olivia's face went from flushed to pale. "Do you have any idea who I am coming to collect from me? Check your hotel account again. I'm sure Ryan already transferred the money." Embarrassment and anger boiled up in Olivia, and she felt like she'd completely lost face in front of everyone. The manager forced a smile, "Miss Liu, right after you arrived, Mr. Chen told me himself that he had no intention of paying this bill and that it would be on whoever signed for it. Olivia's face changed color instantly. She thought she'd misheard. Her classmates were too stunned to speak. This bill was worth tens of millions. Split evenly, that was nearly $1 million each, and many of them came from ordinary families. They simply couldn't afford that much. They started backing away, trying to figure out how to slip out. Even her closest friends looked tense. All that earlier relaxed enjoyment had vanished. Olivia took a while to snap out of it. How dare Ryan not pay this had gone too far? Who gave him the nerve to do this? I can't believe he'd be this selfish. Does he really think I'll just stop talking to him over this? Olivia felt like she was about to explode. She'd been spoiled her whole life. She'd never been treated like this before. She immediately pulled out her phone and called you. Hey, why didn't you pay the hotel bill? You're worried about that small amount? Do you even have any decency if you don't pay right now? Don't ever talk to me again, Olivia said firmly, and hung up without waiting for a response. She was confident that once you got mad enough, you'd rush to settle the bill. Olivia confidently promised the manager, don't worry. The balance will be in your account within 3 minutes. I'd never stiff you on this. Olivia held her head high proudly. This trick had always worked before. You'd always cave to her demands quickly. She was sure you'd end up crying and begging for forgiveness like always. She could already picture it. Ethan next to her felt sorry for her too. Dealing with someone this unreliable was truly unfortunate for Miss Liu the moment he first saw Olivia. He'd already decided he was going after her after all with his investment system awakened. A small family like the Chens meant nothing to him. Ethan's words hit exactly where she wanted. Olivia used the moment to invite Ethan out, and they exchanged contact information, planning to explore the city together over the next few days. Meanwhile, the hotel manager's face turned dark. Because the payment still hadn't come through at this point, everyone understood. You meant business. Looks like Mr. Chen was actually furious this time. First time he's ever refused his fiancée. Hope we're not splitting the bill. I can't afford that. I shouldn't have come tonight. I couldn't scrape together $1 million if I sold everything I own, but Olivia caught every word of that. Her face went pale, but with Ethan right there, only a slight change showed on her face. Then she said coldly, "Who says I can't pay? Let me make a call." She stepped aside and called her father. The second he answered, she said, "Dad, wire $30 million to my account. Don't ask why. Who's Ryan Chen? Never heard of him. What do I care if the old man died? I'm not going to any funeral." That's enough. Stop talking. I'm busy these days. The Liu family had built up some wealth over the years by leeching off Chengyu Group for years. They had money to spare. Soon Olivia paid the bill, her face like stone. Watching her account balance drop to 5 digits stung quite a bit. Once she was done, she turned around and realized everyone had already vanished. She immediately decided to pin all the blame on you, swearing to herself that if you didn't pay a heavy price to make it up to her, she'd never speak to you again. Back in the living room at Blue Mountain Estates, a group of political and business elites watched you with strange looks. You held the phone you just hung up on, anger simmering quietly in your eyes. Olivia's blunt and domineering tone had been overheard by everyone in the room. She hadn't shown you any respect at all. This fiancé was way out of line. The old man just died and she didn't even ask about it. Just demanded money without letting him say a word. If my daughter-in-law were like that, I'd disown her immediately. How did Ryan even end up with someone like that? Is she really worth it? Honestly, this works in our favor. Everything has its price. With an heir like her, Chengyu Group is bound to collapse. Their whispers were mostly drowned out by the monks chanting, but you could tell exactly what they were saying just from their expressions. Your face stayed calm right at that moment. The system suddenly activated detected fiancé contact with the chosen one. You now have the following 3 options. Your eyes lit up instantly. This system really understands me. You chose option 3 without hesitation. Cut all ties with Olivia and destroy the Liu family's reputation. Even without the system, you'd have done this anyway. But you were waiting for the right justification based on how the story originally went. Olivia never showed up to the old man's funeral. Instead, she went off to meet Ethan. You just needed someone to follow them. Snap a photo of them walking together and use that as proof to go public. That would give you a perfectly legitimate reason to break the engagement, especially with the timing. Your future daughter-in-law skipping the funeral to sneak off with another man. That alone would ruin her reputation completely. You started putting the plan together in your head. As for taking down the Liu family bankrupting, then would be even easier. Knowing the story as well as you did, you understood exactly what the Liu family had done without any effort at all. Right then in your vision, the entire layout of Blue Mountain Estates shrank down into a miniature map. Appearing before your eyes, streams of colored energy swirled like sand. Floating in the empty space, the feng shui of Blue Mountain Estates had cost the old man a fortune to have masters arrange years ago, decent enough on its own. But in your eyes, it was nothing because you had 1,000 ways to turn this mansion into the ultimate feng shui formation. That's exactly what a godlike feng shui mastery could do. Nobody in the entire world could match your skill in this area, not even the chosen one. With a system, you had Emily lean in close and whispered something to her. Her expression went from confused to shocked, then broke into a smile as she nodded repeatedly. Soon, Olivia's parents arrived at the funeral home when they saw them. Emily's expression turned cold immediately because Mr. and Mrs. Liu couldn't stop grinning. Anyone who didn't know better would have thought they were at a wedding before walking in. They'd already been flattered by a bunch of society elites, people who a few years ago were completely out of their reach, but after their daughter started dating you, everything changed. The Liu parents looked smug, barely nodding at anyone too proud to even speak. Before heading to the altar to pay respects, they even pretended to be grief-stricken. After briefly comforting you, they said the commercial district project's been stuck for a while now. You should deal with it later. Many vendors who wanted to work with the Chen family were furious about this. The Liu family's quotes were higher than market price, with worse materials, yet these shady business people kept winning contracts because of your connections. Before, all Olivia had to do was mention it and Chengyu Group would hand contracts straight to the Liu family. Everyone assumed this project would go the same way. But now you didn't even look up. You just said flatly, "My father just passed away. I'm not discussing business today, we'll talk later." Mrs. Liu was instantly annoyed. Olivia marrying you is your good fortune. Don't act ungrateful right then. Emily walked over. Olivia didn't even come, and Ryan hasn't said anything. Why are you causing trouble here? Fire this woman right now. I don't want Olivia seeing her around after she marries you, Mrs. Liu ordered. Without a shred of respect for you, the commotion by the altar caught the attention of other mourners, including some heavyweights just as powerful as the Chen family, the city's other 3 major tycoons. Watching this unfold, Mr. Tang, Mr. Dong, and Mr. Chen all sneered at the Liu family and looked at you with pity. Mr. Kang sighed. After a lifetime of hard work, the worst thing is having heirs like this squander. It all feel bad for old Chen. Mr. Chen looked helpless. Old Chen and I were close. I wanted to help out after he passed, but now it seems he's a hopeless case with in-laws like these. 10 Chengyu groups wouldn't be enough to survive. It wasn't just the other tycoons looking down on you. Even some of the senior staff at Chengyu Group were deeply disappointed in you as their new leader. They knew the Liu family only got this arrogant because you'd spoiled them. What they didn't realize was, you'd already changed, you hadn't wanted trouble today. But when Mrs. Liu went after Emily, your temper finally snapped. You stood up abruptly staring straight at her, your eyes as sharp as blades cutting right through. You want me to handle this today, right? Fine, I'll grant your wish. You called over the project manager from Chengyu Group. Soon a middle-aged man in a suit stood there looking utterly confused. Chairman, yes sir. You spoke coldly, notified the entire company immediately. For the commercial district project, no company connected to the Liu family is allowed to participate, and cut off every ongoing partnership with Liu family businesses, find new partners instead. The manager's brain froze for a second, his mouth hanging open, wondering if he'd misheard because ever since you first met Ryan Liu, every single Chengyu Group project had given the Liu family special treatment. You looked at him calmly. Is there a problem? The manager snapped to attention. Standing up straight immediately, he said excitedly, "No problem at all, sir, I'll get it done right away." He was so excited he nearly cried after years of watching the Liu family drain the company, feeling powerless to stop it. That frustration was finally released today. Meanwhile, the entire funeral hall fell into stunned silence over your sudden decision. All the elites stopped chatting and Mr. and Mrs. Liu's hearts skipped a beat. The smug looks on their faces froze their lips trembling. Your transformation completely caught them off guard. They couldn't even form a response. After a moment, Mr. Liu felt a sharp pain in his chest. He pointed a shaking finger at you. "What nonsense are you spouting? Think carefully about the consequences before you do this." Mr. Liu's face darkened. "Ryan, everyone's watching, stop making a scene here." You stepped forward, staring at them both, eyes cold as ice. Who's making a scene? Threatening me in front of my father's body, demanding I fire Emily. You're not even qualified to make demands, my patience is limited. You're not welcome here, get out of this hall, or I won't hesitate to have security remove you. The entire funeral hall erupted instantly. Hundreds of people started whispering and murmuring. Is that really the famous Simp everyone talks about? Did I get the wrong person? I think my ears are broken. He showed them absolutely no respect. Oh my god, this completely changes what I thought of him. I used to see him grovel in front of Olivia constantly. He's a completely different person now. He actually looks kinda cool right now, like a CEO straight out of a novel. Damn right, that's exactly how it should be. It feels so satisfying to watch. The heir to a billion-dollar company shouldn't have to put up with these two lowlifes. Exactly, a small company that only survives because of Chengyu Group. Has no business telling the boss what to do, they deserve this. I never liked the Liu parents, they got so arrogant riding on the Chen family's coattails. Finally, Mr. Chen is standing up for himself. All the elites watching the drama unfold turned their attention to Mr. and Mrs. Liu, their eyes full of amusement and mockery like they were watching a clown act. Mr. Liu was so furious he was practically shaking. How dare you talk to your elders like that? Absolutely no manners, no respect, I can't believe Olivia ever liked you. Mrs. Liu looked close to tears. My daughter never even liked you. If I hadn't spoken up for you behind the scenes, she never would have gotten engaged to you. Now that you're chairman, you're just turning your back on everyone. I'll tell her everything that happened today the moment I get back. But if you kneel and apologize to us right now, this could still be fixed. They knew you cared most about Olivia. In their desperation, they used their daughter as leverage, trying to force you to kneel and apologize. The old you would have hesitated. But now you just gave your bodyguards a look and 4 huge men immediately closed in on the Liu parents. Right as they were about to grab them, Mr. Liu panicked instantly. He glared at you furiously and quickly pulled Mrs. Liu toward the exit. You'll regret this. Ryan Chen, don't even think about coming back to Olivia. This isn't over. The two of them slunk out of the funeral hall with their heads down. Back inside, your face was full of apology. Sorry everyone had to see that. Mr. Chen smiled. Young man, you're something else. I was actually hoping you'd fire Emily so I could swoop in and hire her myself. You joked, Mr. Chen, you might as well give up on that. Emily's never leaving. As for Emily, she was the one who had already burned every bridge with the Liu family for your sake. He felt a wave of emotion he couldn't put into words, feeling like every year he'd put into the family had finally paid off. Right then, some material suppliers and vendors who'd heard the news started calling the Liu family demanding payment. Big companies like theirs run on thin cash flow. They usually only settle up once a project wraps, so they owed a ton of vendors unpaid bills. Now word that Chengyu Group cut ties with the Lius spread through the city like wildfire without that golden name backing them. All these suppliers panicked, thinking the Lius couldn't pay up, and every partner started showing up demanding money. Mr. Liu's face went pale, staring at his phone, buzzing non-stop. He was clearly rattled. He just powered it off, playing dead. Out of sight, out of mind, but Mrs. Liu's phone took the hit instead. It kept ringing the whole ride home from the funeral home as the car neared the house. They saw a bunch of luxury cars parked outside their gate. Word had spread fast. And these creditors moved even faster. They'd completely blocked the entrance. Mr. Liu told the driver to turn around and head to a hotel once they got inside. Both of them realized just how badly Chengyu Group cutting ties would hurt them. It was more than they could handle. Mrs. Liu was starting to feel guilty. We didn't go too far. Right, Ryan wouldn't really be this petty. Mr. Liu was nervous too. Maybe it's our fault Olivia wasn't there today. If she'd gone to pay respects too, she wouldn't have dared talk to him like that. Mrs. Liu nodded and immediately called Olivia. Sweetheart, do you know what Ryan Chen did to us? Mr. Liu acted like he'd suffered so much. He exaggerated the whole story, making it sound like they'd been humiliated beyond belief. Painting you as some heartless monster. Listen to me, sweetheart. If he tries to apologize these next few days, don't forgive him easily. Make him come kneel in front of us. That's the only way to wash away today's humiliation. At the theme park, Olivia had just hung up the phone, looking upset. But the second she saw Ethan buying her ice cream, she put her smile back on. Ethan came back with the ice cream and immediately sensed something was off. Olivia, something on your mind? No, it's nothing, really. Whatever's bothering you, just tell me I'm way more capable than you think. Ethan, you're amazing. Let's go to Mount U tomorrow. Olivia smiled sweetly, walking beside Ethan as they went along. Ethan hinted that the Chen family in the city actually owed him a favor, so she had nothing to fear from the Chens. He had no idea that hidden all around them, tiny cameras were quietly capturing everything the next day. The old man's casket was taken to Mount U on the outskirts of the city. Mount U had a long history, and was a must-see spot for visitors getting a good burial plot here. Took more than just money, you needed serious connections too. But the old man had pulled strings and secured one in advance, right now standing atop the mountain. Your eyes flickered with light. Every thread of Mount U's feng shui shimmered like strands in your vision. You could tell this spot at the summit was only decent, not the best. And when it came to your family's fortune and future generations, you couldn't afford to cut corners. You frowned slightly and asked Emily who's the one who picked this plot. Emily answered honestly, the Dong family helped set it up. They brought in a guy named Ethan to check it out. Sir, is something wrong? Ethan, a flicker of cold anger crossed your eyes as your voice dropped. You hadn't expected him to latch onto the Chen family this fast. Ethan had probably poured his heart into it, trying to get a foothold in the city with his feng shui skills, but from your perspective, his so-called mastery wasn't much. This plot he picked was mediocre at best. You said flatly this spot's just average, not worth what was paid for it. Whoever did this clearly doesn't know their craft. Tell Mr. Chen he got played. He should keep his distance from Ethan going forward. Have everyone stop the work. I need time to find a new burial site, it won't delay the burial. In your vision somewhere on Mount U was hiding a massive swirl of energy, forming the faint shape of a young Keelan with the right adjustments. It could become something powerful enough to reshape entire landscapes. Emily froze. Staring at you in disbelief, the girl who usually did nothing all day, had secretly studied feng shui after 5 years with the Chen family. Back when she first met you, you spent most of your time out partying. She used to look down on you, turns out she'd been short-sighted. Ever since yesterday, your whole demeanor had changed, proving you weren't just some useless playboy. You were actually playing dumb while being incredibly sharp. Emily didn't ask any more questions. She didn't question your decision to change the burial site either. As far as she was concerned, it was Chen family business. Even if you left the old man out in the open, she had no say as the manager. You arrived at the Keelan site, had some debris cleared away, then had Emily contact whoever managed the land and bought it outright. You began adjusting the feng shui in less than half a day. You could already feel powerful energy surging up from deep within your bloodline. And it kept building as time went on, the fortune settling deeper and deeper. Meanwhile, the Liu parents hadn't slept in days, relying on sleeping pills just to get through the night. Their location kept getting tracked down by debt collectors, forcing them to switch hotels repeatedly. Mr. Liu felt colder by the minute, realizing without Chung Yu Group backing them, without you to bail them out, they were staring down tens of billions in debt. Mr. Liu couldn't sit still, every nerve in his body on edge. Both of them had gone from calm to frantic. The fallout from losing Chung Yu Group's partnership was more than the Liu family could survive. Now they were genuinely scared. Over the years, they'd used your name to fake contracts and rack up unpaid debts. If this got audited, they'd be looking at prison. They never imagined you'd actually go this far thinking about this. Mr. Liu called his daughter, dropping all politeness. Get your butt home now. The whole family's falling apart. Hasn't Ryan reached out to you? You're not gonna go find him. What, your pride's too big for that? You want your parents to beg him instead? Fine. You've got some nerve hanging up on me too. Mrs. Liu heard the dial tone. Practically shooting fire from her eyes, more and more of the elite crowd realized you'd cut the Lius off. Everyone who used to associate with them started keeping their distance. Even their old enemies started kicking them while they were down, snatching their business creditors were hunting them down all over the city like fugitives. If Olivia didn't come find you soon to sort this out, they'd be completely finished within days. Meanwhile, after wrapping up your father's funeral, you headed to the Cheng Yu Group headquarters and called an emergency meeting with every manager in the company. 30 minutes later, all the top executives rushed into the conference room. New boss, new rules. Everyone was on edge. The last to arrive was the company's number 2, holding the second largest shares after you. A heavyset guy named Victor Hugh who'd built the company alongside the old man. By rank, you technically had to call him uncle, but deep down you knew. This guy used to be reasonably solid, but once Chung Yu Group became the top dog in the city, he turned greedy beyond belief, constantly abusing his position, funneling company funds into his own pocket. Victor sat there, eyes closed, acting all relaxed the moment he arrived. Ryan, what's with all this? You don't need to make such a scene. You glanced at him coldly and said nothing. Since everyone's here, I'll now announce the company's latest decisions as chairman. First decision from logistics. Chen Liuan is promoted to executive vice president. Logistics' Kai Kangzong takes over as project department GM. Marketing Su Lihua takes over as CFO. You laid it all out plain and direct, no small talk. Your words hit like a bombshell, instantly electrifying the whole conference room. A dozen or so people shot to their feet, overwhelmed with excitement. The ones you named had served the old man loyally for years, extremely devoted. Chung Yu Group's success today owed a lot to them. But once the old man got sick, they'd all been pushed aside. Demoted from key positions to logistics, reduced to nobodies. Right now, they were both shocked and thrilled. Thank you, Chairman. I'll give this everything I've got. This is amazing. I've waited so long for this day. These veteran employees teared up faces flushed with emotion. You nodded and continued without missing a beat. Everyone please sit now for the second decision. Former executive VP Derek Xu abused his authority during his tenure for personal gain. The company is terminating him effective immediately and pursuing legal action. Former project manager Kevin Chen conspired with the executive VP to steal company files. For personal profit, terminated effective immediately with legal consequences to follow. You then read off over 20 more names, all in key positions, all connected to the Liu family. They'd ridden on the old Yu to coast through Chung Yu Group while helping the Liu family profit. The Lius had made a fortune off this scheme for years. Each name you called out made someone's stomach drop. Like falling off a cliff, their whole world going dark. You continued calmly, and of course anyone who conspired with them or is connected to this will be cleared out one by one and handed to the courts. Former GM Derek Xu, who happened to be Olivia's cousin, looked furious. Chairman, I won't accept this. You're framing me for corruption. Based on nothing but your word, take it back. Or I'll sue you for defamation. The former project manager was equally outraged. Exactly, we've worked so hard for this company. Maybe not perfect, but we put in the work and you accuse us the moment you take over. Where's the fairness in that? The room erupted in outrage. Dozens of people stood up all at once. They thought they'd covered their tracks well enough, that no one could dig up proof even if they tried, and they had backup. Facing the wave of anger, you just leaned back in your chair and had someone light you a cigar. Don't worry. The evidence you're all asking for is coming. Enjoy this moment while you're still standing here talking to me. The reason you were going all out to clean house was to give Chung Yu Group a fresh start, to push it to even greater heights, no longer confined to just this city, but expanding nationally, maybe even globally. Soon, Emily walked in with several assistants, carrying a stack of folders. These files held the evidence against every single named employee. A few days earlier, you'd quietly discussed a few things with Emily back at the mansion. Collecting evidence on corrupt staff was one of them. Emily had dug deep in just a few days. She'd untangled everything and found solid proof against every single one of them. Her expression stayed sharp, like an iceberg that never cracked a smile, but inside she felt anything but calm. She felt like you now carried a commanding presence that was undeniably magnetic. But that alone wasn't what got to her. It was how ruthlessly effective your methods were. You had detailed intel on every single person there. Emily kept her expression neutral, speaking like an impartial judge. She laid out the evidence piece by piece, reading each one aloud in an ice-cold voice. With every name she read, the color drained further from that person's face. Some couldn't even stay standing and collapsed. Stop, please stop, I'll leave right now. Chairman Chen, I'm begging you for old time's sake. Please don't press charges, you found all this. I'm impressed we're related to your fiancé. Please show some mercy, I'll make it right. Please give me one more chance, as Emily's cold voice kept echoing through the room. It effortlessly broke down every last shred of their resistance. All their secrets were now laid out on the table if you chose to press charges. At minimum, they'd be looking at 10 years in prison in their fear. They kept glancing at you sitting there so calm. Eyes closed the whole time, the pressure was suffocating. Derek Shu, Olivia's cousin, still remembered the first time he met you back then. This guy had bowed and scraped, just to score points with Olivia, terrified of upsetting her. Worried she'd think less of him now. He was a completely different person than the bitter man in front of you. Now even Victor, the second largest shareholder, was left speechless by this move. He sat quietly in his chair, thoroughly embarrassed. He'd been about to defend these people, but faced with the evidence, his face got completely smashed. He glanced over at the group, snorted coldly useless, and stormed out of the room. Many of the Liu family's planted relatives inside Chung Yu Group had already broken down. None of them had strong nerves to begin with, and no real skills either. They'd only ever cared about making money on the side, so naturally, they couldn't handle the pressure and completely folded, desperate to end this quickly. The fastest solution they could think of was to use Olivia as leverage to beg for mercy. After all, everyone knew how devoted you'd once been to Olivia. You stood up, straightened your white shirt, and said, "These files go to the police this afternoon, get ready for it." The Liu relatives went pale, not daring to stick around another second. They scrambled out of the room in a panic once they left. You turned to the remaining executives with a warm smile. From now on, Emily will officially serve as executive secretary to the chairman. Then you turned to Emily and smiled. "Thanks for all your hard work, it's just my job," Emily said excitedly. "Sir, you really surprised me today." You laughed it off. "There's plenty more surprises coming. Better get used to it, sir, I believe in you. That other thing you asked me to handle is done too." Olivia and Ethan really have been together these past few days. But according to what my people found, nothing serious has happened between them yet. They're both keeping their distance. Neither one wants to make the first move. "Are these photos enough?" You shrugged. "Plenty going on a date with another man the day of the funeral is more than enough to call off this ridiculous engagement," you said, and left the room. The moment Derek Shu and the others left the meeting, they huddled together immediately. Everyone talked over each other. In the end, they realized only one person could fix this. Olivia was the only one who could solve this, so they started calling her phone one after another. Olivia had been in a great mood talking investments with Ethan, but after all those calls, her mood completely soured. She just stopped answering and turned it off. Her face looked awful, but there was nothing else to do. She forced herself to apologize to Ethan. "Sorry, Ethan. Something came up, I need to head back. I'll give you my answer on the investment tomorrow." "Okay," Ethan said understandingly. "No rush. My offer still stands. Let me drive you." Hearing Ethan's voice, Olivia instantly forgot all about what just happened. She said sweetly, "Thanks, that'd be great." Soon the two arrived at the resort hotel where her parents were temporarily staying. Mr. Liu saw Ethan and looked at him coldly. "Kid, I don't care who you are. Stay away from my daughter from now on. She's going to be the future Mrs. Chen. The Chen family's future daughter-in-law. That's not someone you want to mess with. You better know your place." Ethan leaned against the car door, smirked, and said, "My name's Ethan. Maybe you've never heard of me, but soon enough. My name will be known across every corner of this city's politics and business. The Chen family isn't even worth my time." Mr. Liu found that laughable. Some punk kid thinks he can stand up to the Chens? All right, just get out of here, you're an eyesore. A cold smile crossed Ethan's lips, his eyes gleaming with pure confidence. He gripped the car door lightly. "No one takes a woman I've set my sights on. Olivia is mine, call me arrogant if you want. Hey! You'll all see soon enough what a rising star looks like, what a real dragon looks like." Ethan got in the car, and the second it started, his phone rang. "Hey, Mr. Chen, someone said the feng shui setup I did for your place was sloppy. Don't listen to that nonsense. What I set up for you is the best there is, trust me, okay? I'll definitely be there." He hung up the phone and his face turned vicious. "Ryan Chen, you've got some nerve messing with my plans. I wasn't even coming after you. And you had to drag me into this. The Chen family is just a stepping stone to me. One day you'll be the one kneeling in front of me back at the hotel." Mr. Liu looked furious, staring coldly at Olivia. "You know what our family's been through?